rock star. Hit it, man.
Pick six, time for the pick six. Six for you and six for me, that equals a pick six. Say goodbye to your family, it's time for the pick six. Only time that I'm happy is when it's time for pick six.
You know, there's that Kentucky linebacker that's got 6 fingers.
Oh, yeah, I
Right.
saw that, yeah.
You wonder if you notice that just in a regular conversation.
No,
like
I don't
if you're
think
at
you
Buffalo
would.
Wild Wings and he's drinking a beer, would you notice that the dude had 6 fingers around a pint?
Because I had to look at the photo several times just to make sure. And it doesn't, I don't know, it's weird. It doesn't look that way when you look at
And real touching how many people have the extra finger or toe, and how he went and spoke to the kids and everything. That was really an interesting
didn't see
story.
that.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
a
cool.
number of kids, and he went to the Lexington school and really inspired a bunch of them that were getting bullied at school. So really,
cool.
I mean, you can imagine how kids would be in that situation, or some adults. But that's the Buffalo Wild Wings pick six. Tell us about Buffalo Wild Wings.
Look, it is the absolute best place to be for football Saturdays and Sundays. Almost 20 years in the market, serving up the best sports, atmosphere, and wings around. 8 locations here in the Birmingham Central Alabama area, and the brand new remodeled locations, one in Hoover on 150 and the Highway 280 that I've been to multiple times. It looks fantastic. Walls and walls of TVs. And don't forget, 2 new locations coming late 2021, one in Chelsea, one in Oxford, and all weekend long. Get that takeout app. You can get takeout available through the Buffalo Wild Wings app. Make sure you download it today and get Buffalo Wild Wings all weekend long.
Okay, so with that story breaking in the Clemson Pitt game, you felt like this was, before this happened, a Clemson, one of those upsets, the unranked versus the ranked that could happen here,
Well, I
right?
told you last Friday that this was going to be Clemson's breakout game against Syracuse.
That's right.
Right.
That did not happen, Lance. You were incorrect. on
And
that.
Sean Tucker was the best player on the field.
Right.
He's a Syracuse freshman running back. I don't trust Clemson at all. I probably stay away from this game because Clemson is a sleeping giant. They've got the talent, and they've got the defense that can give Kenny Pickett a lot of problems. If you go back, Kenny Pickett has played 2 games against Clemson. He's completed 47% of his passes. He's thrown 2 touchdowns, 217 total yards, 7 turnovers, and he's been sacked 9 times. He has been awful against Clemson, and those were Clemson defenses that aren't as good as this Clemson defense. So I really don't know what to say. I hate to hedge on a game, but I am hedging on this game. I saw somebody just say max bet on Pittsburgh. I disagree with that.
That's hard to do for me, Brown, because of the uniform, the name on the uniform. I keep expecting every week for the Clemson that we've known for the last, few years as a national power to pop up every weekend. I don't think there's a weekend you can play and not expect that roster of talent to succeed.
Well, you are what the scoreboard says you are. It's what Bill Parcells used to always say. And at some point, we've got to accept that the scoreboard says this is Clemson this year. We can keep expecting them to bust out, but, I mean, we've got a pretty good sample size, and you just gave it to us in the Power 5 games. That's a pretty good sample size of data, and it tells me Clemson's about a 20-point per game team when they're playing a Power 5 team.
I don't know about you guys. There's only 3 programs that I never see the bottom falling out to the point where you lose 4 regular season games.
Nick Saban at Alabama,
Yes.
Ohio State.
Ohio State,
Ohio
Ryan Day,
State,
Oklahoma.
and Dabo and Clemson.
Yeah, those are the 3. No,
But
I
here
mean,
we
I can't
are.
even
But here
see,
we are.
because I've seen I've seen Bob Stoops, the bottom fall out once or twice. Under Martin Rick, the bottom fell out. Even Kirby's first year. But right now, Clemson's just a team in the ACC you just can't see lose 3 or 4 regular season games. But if this holds the way most people think that it is going to, and Pittsburgh is favored, this is going to be, before Halloween, 3 regular season losses.
USC and Notre Dame is on the list. 16% of you see the Trojans doing that upset there. I think it goes back to Notre Dame's offensive struggles all of a sudden. They are basically doing quarterback by committee these days. And at some point, I think they're going to run out of runway with that quarterback by committee that they're doing.
Yeah, I don't, Pine looked the part when he came in against Wisconsin. I thought Jack Cohn looked good the first couple of games. I mean, for him to be able to pop his finger back in place. And
Cohn's had to come in and save them almost every weekend.
But you're right about it. You can't keep doing that, though. I mean, at some point, he's going to check.
I thought Kyron Williams, again, back to offensive line, Notre Dame's biggest problem this year has been the offensive line. And that's where a lot of offensive problems start.
But how?
But again, Notre Dame's only lost 1 game. Let's not forget that.
That's right. To a pretty good team in Cincinnati.
Yeah, but even if they went undefeated to this point, there's no chance Notre Dame with 1 loss gets into a college football playoff.
I wouldn't say no
chance.
but I would
It is
say
Notre
most
Dame.
likely, yes.
I think they are not viewed as a very good team, even with the one loss by most people.
Another one of our Buffalo Wild Wings pick six games is in the SEC. It's LSU and Ole Miss. And you talk about not knowing what's going to go on quarterback-wise. I believe Matt Corral will play. I get the feeling you don't think he's going to play, Matt Corral.
I don't think he's going to play.
No, that flips the script a little bit. With an LSU team, that's impossible to project what's going to happen each week because of their coaching situation.
Well, they are, and here's, I had them in my upset alert, and here's why I'm thinking that. I gave it in my upset alert is the fact that LSU found a run game against Florida. Ole Miss is not particularly adept at stopping the run to begin with. So I do think LSU can continue their ability to run the football, which changes their offense. Mac Johnson's any quarterback's better with a run game. Mac Johnson is far better with a run game. Here's what, the intangibles in this game is what I don't know. I think a lot of people would look at what LSU has been through this week and would say that LSU players are going to say, let's go out and let's win this for Coach O, that there will be this emotional boost. But I don't know that the LSU players didn't know all that was going down before the Florida game, and that's why they played that way against Florida, right? Maybe this is week 2 of it, and it's not as new to them
You
anymore.
can't go to the well that many times on something like that.
Right, but it could be, this could be the first game they've played where they know this is, hey, we're on the last few games for Coach O. Let's send him out right.
Well, you remember when Coach O became the interim coach when Les Miles was out, how he got everybody rallied and got everybody behind him.
They went 6-2 in their last 8. That's how he got the job.
And this is an easy sell. We hate Ole Miss. We've beaten them 5 consecutive times. They've only got 1 loss. They're a ranked team. Let's continue to feed everybody this crap sandwich that we're doing right now.
And if Coach O, or if Ole Miss is without Corral, obviously a big game changer. The other aspect of this is all this Manning stuff. It's just got a weird way of when it's a big day and you're honoring guys and it's the Manning game and you got their name in the end zone. It's just got a weird way sometimes of negatively affecting the home team. Such a big deal. We've talked about this with game day. Like, it's the first time game day's ever been on campus, and everybody gets all fired up, and the home, all the focus is on game day, and all of a sudden the road team comes in there and beats the home team.
I think Ole Miss is a good team. They are far from a great team. This is a winnable game, even with 60 scholarship players for LSU.
Charles says UCLA and Oregon is on the pick 6, and I take Oregon in that one. Tripp says LSU had their best shot last week. Ole Miss rolls in this one. Paul says, remember, Pitt lost to Western Michigan back to the
head scratcher, back
to the Clemson game, and he says it is Clemson or a pass, I think is what he said there, and that bounced off there. The O-line is pretty bad at Clemson. I agree with those in the chat room that are saying that. That's the Farmfolio chat room over there. As you watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter, you can jump in that and make your comments quickly on the show. That is segment number 1 of our Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 6. We'll do it again later in the show, but you can play all day long right there online with our friends at B-Dubs.
Yeah, look, go to your app store right now. Get that Buffalo Wild Wings app. The takeout is available all weekend long. The place to be for football Saturdays and Sundays if you want to get out is Buffalo Wild Wings. 8 locations right here in the Birmingham, Central Alabama area. Almost 20 years in the market. I remember the first one on Highway 150, then Highway 280. Both of those locations newly remodeled. They're beautiful walls and walls of TVs. But get in all weekend long. Go see our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings.